Hi everyone. The field of data and analytics is evolving rapidly. There is even a new buzzword nowadays that is doing many rounds. It is called as the data lake house. So let's dive into this and see what this new buzzword is and how it has emerged. So let's step back and go a few decades back when only data warehouses were there. So data warehouses served us very well. They provided us a structure to the data by implementing data models and schemas, and they provided us with a single source of truth. But then in the last decade, there has been a massive increase in the data volumes that organizations are depending on, and there is a demand for real-time analytics. So data warehouses adapted themselves by moving onto the cloud and using the principles of MapReduce and parallel processing architectures. But cloud was not the end for the data warehouses. You know, there is a lot of unstructured data out there, like in the form of documents, emails, social media, and so on. And also there is IoT data in the form of streams. Data warehouses were not designed, or they were not great at handling this kind of data inputs. And that's where the data lakes came into picture. So data lakes stored the data as it is when it came in. It didn't apply any schema to that incoming data. So data lakes were on the principle that let the data be stored immediately and we'll worry about applying the schema later. So as data lakes took center stage, everyone started thinking that maybe that was the end of the data warehouses. But that did not happen because both data lakes and data warehouses are complementary to each other and they serve different purposes. So we saw implementations where we had both data lakes and data warehouses for structured data and then for unstructured data as well. So what we ended up was two sets of data storages at two different extremes. On one hand, we had the data warehouse, which was highly structured and implemented a schema. On the other hand, we had data lake that did not implement any schema at all. And therefore, we needed a third engine in between the two in order to process the data from both the stores and give a unified view to the customer. Now, this hybrid architecture came to be known as the modern data warehouse. So interestingly, it was just a matter of time that the leading cloud providers came up with a unified platform. So they combined these three elements together and provided a unified platform. And this unified platform came to be known as the data lake house. So what does a data lake house do, or what are some of those examples? So the recent examples are Microsoft's Azure Synapse Analytics, which combines its Azure data lake, the data warehouse, its machine learning services, and Apache Spark. Similarly, Databricks also combines its two technologies, the structured streaming and Delta Lake, and provides a common engineering pipeline for both batch and streaming data. So what these platforms attempt to do is to provide a shared storage and tools in order to process data from both the worlds. So it will be interesting to see how data lake houses will now evolve in the coming days. And I think for small and less complex workloads, data lake houses make a lot of sense. But for large and complex workloads, you need a lot of flexibility. Will data lake houses provide that flexibility is a big question. And I think the answer is more of a yes, because these technologies are still loosely coupled, although they come into a unified platform. So let's see in the coming year how this evolves, the concept of data lake house. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more on modern data warehousing.
Nihilant, evolving ideas.